50 years after the final Harry Potter book, Harry Potter is now headmaster of Hogwarts, ready to usher in a brand new generation of witches and wizards. My name's Radio Mike, and I love Harry Potter. In fact, I love Harry Potter so much that when I was a kid, I wrote a series of 7 Harry Potter fan fiction novels. This is book 3 in that series. Welcome to Harry Potter and the Commentors from Kazkaban. Everyone, welcome to Harry Potter and the Boys, a fan fiction podcast by me, Radio Mike. Sam Garlip is here.
And Sam Garlip is in fear because you are swinging something around in the air in a circle and towards me, now it's hitting me.
So me and Claire
bought
this from Kmart for $2. It's like a little plastic banana, but feel it. It's really squishy.
I don't quite like it. It's like okay, these are like those plasticine-y bananas and they stretch and they... have goo in them and
it's sand,
but sand, but that moves around inside the rubber. I actually aesthetically don't. These are not pleasing to me.
We love them. I
don't like this very. I don't like holding it.
I don't know why. I just thought it would be funny to whip it out while I was starting the pod.
Quite phallic.
Yes.
Well, more than quite. It's
almost specifically phallic.
Yeah.
It's just a little banana.
It's kind of fun whipping it around.
Full videos on Patreon, patreon.com/Harry Potter and the Boys. Get a bit of bonus content.
Speaking of bonus.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about...
Yes.
No, I didn't actually have anywhere to put that segue.
Well, you wanted to talk about gold Logie nominees.
Yeah. Oh, well, the Logies have just been... The Logie nominees have just been announced.
The Logies are the Australian Emmys. The Australian BAFTAs.
Which is funny because...
We've done
Emmys just seem...
We've talked about this before, I'm pretty sure.
I know, but just so everyone knows, it's just... We say it's the Australian Emmys, but it's just so much...
It's so much shitter. Yeah.
From a magazine company.
TV Week magazine.
Who's
up? We got Andy's up, Andy Lee.
Andy Lee, who we both worked for.
Yeah, I still work for.
Yeah, I said we both work for.
Oh, I thought you said worked.
No.
Like past
tense.
I still
work for him too.
Who else is not? Julia Morris.
Tony Armstrong.
I love Tony. Fun fact.
Okay. Tony Armstrong. TA.
You are never going to believe this.
You... went on a mandate with Tony Armstrong.
Tony Armstrong has been in this apartment that we are currently recording in.
What?
Bit of a scoop.
Why? I thought I was the most famous person to come into this apartment.
Not even top 3.
I don't doubt that.
Tony Armstrong, before he was famous, worked at a marketing firm. And guess who else worked at that marketing firm? Okay. That's right. Oh, I was just going to say... my brother, who used to live in this apartment. And he was really good friends with Tony Armstrong. And they had beers on the balcony that we are facing right now multiple times. And when Tony got famous, my brother didn't hear from him as much anymore. But Tony Armstrong, Gold Logie nominee, has been in this apartment.
That is quite incredible. I didn't know... When was this? This must have been post.
Actually, it is credible. It happened. Ask my brother.
So this must have been post Tony Armstrong's football career into marketing.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
He did a quick detour into marketing before he became ABC's sex symbol and popular and Gold Logie nominee.
Yes. Okay. Cool. He's nominated. I guess it is crazy he's been here.
Yeah.
It's funny that him and. I feel like I guess he's not a full jock, Tony Armstrong, is he? But
also, here's another fun fact. Tony Armstrong has also been to the share house I used to live in Northcote.
Wow.
Yeah. So Tony Armstrong has been to two of the houses I've lived in.
Different connection?
Yeah. So when I used to work on Willosophy with Will Anderson, during it couldn't have been during lockdown, but when we were getting Tony Armstrong on the show and we couldn't get a studio, but I had all my podcasting gear at my house. So I emailed him and said, hey, do you want to just come to my house and I'll set up the recording for you? Because Will was in Byron Bay, so it was going to be remote.
Gotcha.
So then this is the first time I'd met Tony Armstrong. Rings the doorbell. I open the door, and this this is where I found out.
Tony Armstrong's there.
No, because I opened the door and he says, "God, Dan's brother." And I said, "Yeah, how do you know Dan?" "Oh, I used to have beers on his balcony. We used to work together."
Wow.
So,
And I've been in that house too.
yes, you have. You've been to most of my houses. You've actually been
Oh, I've been to your family home as well.
every house I've ever lived in.
What?
I think you have. You've been to every house I've ever been to.
And if I've been in your house, please write in. We would love to hear your answers. If I have. Well, that's quite incredible. Larry Emder's nominated.
I want Larry to win.
Yeah.
I'm a Larry fan.
Larry is probably putting the most minutes on television for the nominees.
Oh, he's everywhere.
He's on the morning show. That's about 2.5, 3 hours a day.
Yeah. Chase Australia,
Chase
an hour a
Australia.
day. And you know what? He's copped a lot of criticism.
Not from me.
Andrew
Not from
O'Keefe,
me.
of course, was very sort of energetic with his question asking on the chase. Larry Edmer brings a bit of a toned down vibe, but I appreciate it. It's more calming.
Oh, yeah, we don't need people shouting at us through the television.
Andrew O'Keefe, like, calm down in more than just in quiz shows.
Yeah, exactly.
In life
Oh
as
my
well.
God.
Yeah, Julia Morris. Anyway, Gold Logie's happening.
Robert Irwin. And we think it was funny. Like Andy's nominated. The
Yes.
show that he works, the show that he's on, not nominated.
Yeah. Which
Actually,
is interesting.
and the other show the other show I work on isn't nominated either.
Cheap Seats.
Yeah.
Hamish not nominated for gold, which I want Andy to win it. I actually think Andy is like super relatable at the moment.
I guess in the way. Haven't we all got like a multi-million-dollar property we're renovating at the moment? Honestly.
And Tony Armstrong's there.
Yeah, and Tony Armstrong's there. Haven't we all got
No, you're right.
multiple businesses on the
Actually, I totally forgot to tell you because in the Patreon I alluded to the fact that I went on 3 mandates this week. I'll talk about that next week on the show because I've got
This is
something
crazy.
better. I've got something better.
This is so funny because this is a comment I need to tell the listeners now.
Okay.
Before we started recording, Mike said I went on these 3 mandates. I'm like, oh, great. Like, I'd love to hear about it. Why don't we do it on the Patreon? Great. We turn the Patreon on. And so there's 3 mandates. And then you go, actually, let's do it on the main pod.
Bonus
and we get
content
to the
on
main
Patreon.
pod. And I've been waiting 20 minutes for this. And you go, maybe we'll talk about it next week. You won't talk about it next week.
No, I will. I promise I will. But I've actually got a better story.
Wow.
Which is I'm currently I'm back in therapy. I'm seeing a psych every 2 weeks.
This boy needs therapy.
What's that? Is that Eminem?
This boy needs therapy. Yeah, it's in something.
Okay.
It's in a song. Was that an appropriate response to?
Yeah. No, I'm seeing a psych. She's fantastic, and I'm being a bit vulnerable here.
Well, I'm here for it.
I've actually been. I brought you. I brought you up in one of the sessions.
no,
recently.
as one of
no.
your- This guy keeps coming to all my houses. I can't get rid of him.
No, because and I've been talking about a whole slew of like material related to my life. It's sometimes I want to record them and put them out as podcasts. But
Oh my god, the ultimate
That's the
level
ultimate
of Patreon
is
you get to
my
listen to
therapy session.
Mike's recorded therapy
session.
sessions.
Yeah, so
That's incredible.
I've been working with her on like breaking out of shame, shame stories and all of that kind of thing. And I mentioned how like with this pod, we've talked about it before. Everyone's like, oh, what's your pod about? And I go, oh, it's stupid. Don't listen to it.
Oh, you
It
wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
I don't.
So we've been
Which
practicing.
is what we've
been practicing in therapy. Me talking about the stuff that I do without the self-deprecating preface, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And so I started talking to her, and I basically was like, so I do this Harry Potter podcast, and I explained it to her,
Yeah, nice.
and she was like, oh, okay, great. And
And then you're like, don't say it. It's shit. It's shit. You wouldn't
Don't
like
listen.
it.
Anyway, then at the end of the session, it was a cold day in Melbourne that day, so I actually had my Ravenclaw scarf on.
That's funny.
And she said, oh, what have you got planned now? Because after you see a psych, at the end of the session, there's this weird moment where it stops being therapy and starts being small talk again.
Okay, yeah, okay.
She's like, oh, what have you got on? And I'm like, Oh, just trying to keep warm. That's why I've got my scarf on, Ravenclaw scarf. Don't know if you're into Harry Potter. And she goes, oh, I love Harry Potter. I was actually going to ask you permission if I could listen to your podcast. And then I was about to be like, no, don't listen to it.
Oh, no.
But then
that would be funny if you said, no, don't listen to it. She's like, you failed. You failed, Mike.
You fucking idiot.
You failed psychology sessions.
And I was like,
it's a trap.
And I just said, you should listen to it. It's really good. And then I said, but one thing I should
say it like that.
I said one thing I should warn you about is like what you get in this room from me is not what you're gonna get on the podcast. It's very not PC.
Explicit.
And she was like, that's no worries, I'll have a listen.
Wow.
And I think it was a real learning thing for me.
Yeah.
To be like, anyone could be a fan of this podcast.
That's true. Even
a professional.
Professional psychologist.
What have I just said about all our listeners?
I have found that everyone I know that has studied and become a psychologist or a therapist are the craziest people I know.
You said this
that last
exact
week?
thing last week.
Well, were we talking about therapy last week?
Maybe we were.
Unless that was off air.
But basically, shout out to my psych if you have decided this is the one you're going to listen to.
Yeah. Maybe this could be, and if you listen to it and you're horrified, maybe this could then become a case study. It would still get the listens up among other mental health professionals.
True.
This is
the mind of a crazy man.
This is what happened. This is how you get deep-seated. This could actually get you kind of extra, less, more bang for your buck because she can listen back through all of these episodes, see what your childhood was like, and how, what your mindset was. She doesn't even have to ask you, and what was your childhood like? She's like, I know already.
Well, sometimes I'm like,
So
is she Googling me after the sessions? Because I've Googled her.
You're allowed to Google your psychologist.
But can the site Google the client?
Why not?
I don't know. It's like when you're in a jury and you bring in external information into the jury.
Yeah. I think Googling is okay when they go as far as
Becoming a fan of the podcast.
No, and then friending your family members on and go, and they go, geez, does Mike complain a lot about his job? They go, give me some. And so then in your next thing, she's like, so look, your mum actually says you're a little shit. What do you think about that? Your mum said you wet the bed a lot.
Do you go to therapy?
Maybe I do.
Normalized therapy?
Yeah, I do.
You don't. You just said you don't.
I do.
You should, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
No, that's a bad thing.
You should. You should go to. I mean, God, this boy needs therapy.
What else do we got? Oh, my mandates.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to talk
do
about
them
it
next week or this
Why don't
week?
we, or unless you want to start read. Oh, no, but I want to talk about Bella's essay. I listened to the
talk about that.
Outpost.
We'll do my mandates next week.
I guess what I was going to say was I listened. It was funny then I couldn't interject because I was listening to just your voice only.
But Bella wrote an essay about the pod and it was great.
It's up as a bonus app.
Fantastic. Bonus app. Get it now.
It was awesome. I think Bella struck a great balance between talking about how fun the other guests were while still complimenting me.
Yes, she was very particular with her wording.
I think it was funny listening because I feel like you could tell when there was a special comment by you, but because you're the only voice in the podcast, you kept saying something like, the special comment by me, and special comment by Mike, and that's not in the essay, that's actually a special comment by me. This is actually a special comment by me. Special comment by me. You just kept saying it. Yeah. And you didn't do the song. You didn't do the...
No, because
It was out of your range, you said.
A bit out of my range.
Actually, that was the other... Sorry, I'm now remembering as I say it.
Yeah.
You started saying, I'm not going to do the song. Look, I don't really have time to do the song, so I'm just going to move on. Plus, it's kind of out of my range, and singing, and singing Bowling for Soup, they sing quite high, and I'm not sure if I'm going to sing the whole song, and blah blah blah. But you by the time you'd finished explaining why you weren't singing the song,
could have sung the song. Yeah, I could have. But
and
I stand by my decision.
Do you have perfect pitch? Is that something you?
No. Do you have perfect pitch?
No, not at all.
Do you know what perfect pitch is?
It just means that you can't. I don't know. You can't sing a wrong note.
Well, it's more like if I go, you could be like C sharp. Yeah, but don't quote us on that. It's like you just know what note everything is.
Right. But I think that if I was going to sing, Bowling for Soup, 1985.
Yeah.
I'm not too worried because you were like, oh, it's a bit too high for me. I would just be like, oh, if I'm just going a cappella, I'll just sing it.
You just
I won't go, Debbie just hit the wall. I'll be like, Debbie just hit the wall.
Yeah, you do a key change.
Which I feel like you always get the right. Whenever you're just going a cappella.
That's not perfect pitch. Yeah, but also, I would have done it to a backing track, which means I'd have to be in key. Any singer would know that. Should we get into the double F? We'll get into the double F. Second last chapter.
What?
Of Harry Potter and the Commentors from Azkaban.
Oh my God.
Today, next week will be the last chapter of the book before we get into book 4. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
You know people listen to this podcast. Someone brought it up with me on a podcast.
Yeah, of course they do.
Yeah, true. Well, I knew that, yeah.
Oh, and I know that, this is kind of an off-air chat.
Yeah, let's have it.
But our friends in the restricted section podcast.
Yes.
I don't think I can do that.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to be guesting on the restricted section soon, which is an American podcast.
And it'll be a Saturday morning. God, I have footy.
Oh, I got footy.
So
I love how eclectic you are. You're like choir boy, footy player, comedy writer, guitar.
Oh, God, he does it all.
Loves music.
Yeah,
loves
but then
sports.
but then I feel like
you're like the Triple M, rock, sport, and comedy.
Oh well, bloody tell them that. I was on there one time and I wasn't very good, but bloody what was I going to say? Yeah, but I feel like everyone's I am a little bit eclectic. I like it. I like liking different things, but everyone that goes on say in my job on the cheap seats, the guests, everyone has a thing.
Yeah. I'm the fashion guy.
Yeah.
I'm the movie guy. Yeah. I am the sports guy.
Yeah.
I'm the towel guy.
Exactly.
I'm interested in towels.
See, I could be the towel guy.
But why not hair dryers?
Why not just have why not just have a guy who
reports on everything?
Hey. What do you want to talk about?
All right. We are up to
Chapter 49.
And Sam, we always start by reading the title of the chapter, and I guess as the second last chapter, I would love to hear the title, like most weeks. So Sam, please kick us off by reading the title of the chapter, which is Sam Garlep.
I'll kick us off here, Mike. We're back for the...
kicks us off inside 50 hand passes to Damo. And that's how AFL commentary sounds like.
Chapter 49. The Keeper of Poos.
Ooh, stinky. Okay.
I forgot everyone already knows the...
Yeah,
chapter.
True. All right.
The Keeper of Poos.
Okay. Doesn't feel like a wrap-up chapter.
No.
I mean, there is one more, so here we go.
Ending a book.
Oh.
Ending a book.
Oh.
Well, psych. There's another chapter after this one that's actually the final chapter of the book. Haha, got you.
Well, we actually
they didn't get us, did
and
they?
Also, if you were reading a book, you'd see that there's more pages.
And where did we hear that? Why would we think this was the last chapter? It's not chapter 49, the final chapter.
Yeah, it's the Keeper of Pooh. If anything, it suggests more.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking the Keeper of Pooh's the end.
You know what's actually sometimes like a welcome blessing in a book is when, kind of looks like there's so many pages left. I'm going to be reading forever. Then you kind of get to a point, you're like, hang on a second. And then you kind of turn the page, it's like glossary or like index or
something. Watch out for other titles by the same.
Yeah, and there's like a big chunk of pages left and you're like, oh my God.
Index, acknowledgements.
That's like a get out of jail free. Because you're like, oh my God, I thought I had 3 more days of this book. I finished it today. I'm starting a new book. I'm not prepared.
Yeah, but I think maybe we're different because I'm like, but if I'm liking the book, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, but you can normally tell when a book's wrapping up.
You know what I would like instead of that? Instead of that, so you're saying hey, just wait, stick with me.
Yeah.
So you're like when a book it ends before the pages are up, you're like, oh, it's ended. You like that?
Yeah.
I think the opposite. I want to get to the very last page, and I think I'm about to finish the book, and on the last page, then it goes, In the last line, it goes, "Hey, look under your bed." I look under my bed. There's another 30 pages. There's another little attachment.
When you order the book, someone comes and puts the pages up.
There's a separate little bit so you get more book.
You know what I actually don't
Come
like?
on, would you like? That's
I love
good.
that. I love that. Yeah, it's like the chips left over in the bag when you get fries from Macca's.
It's exactly like
You finish the chips. Oh, there's 17 more in the bag.
Yes, whereas yours is like you think you got the big thing of chips and you got to and there's a big block of cardboard at the bottom.
Yeah,
Like,
but
oh,
I'm more talking about time investment. It's like, oh, well, I'm finished. I thought I've got more time than I thought. The other thing is, I'll tell you what I actually don't like.
What don't you like?
Here's what I
Mike?
don't like. You get to the end of the book and it goes, here's a preview of book 2.
Oh, I don't like that.
Don't like
either.
that because I'm not
ready for book 2.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still digesting book 1 and you want to shove book 2 in my face.
Not only am I still digesting book 1, until a minute ago, I thought this was still book 1.
Yeah. Why are they jamming,
Next time,
16 pages of book 2 to the back of book 1?
Oh, and you've really cornered that author into it. There's like, what if they want to change it?
It's almost like being held hostage.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, now I'm being forced to read book 2 now.
You get no resolution.
Those pages never get read.
Fuck those pages.
Yeah, no.
Wow. That is, I don't like that either.
No, it's not good. It really isn't good.
Oh, God.
Anyway,
All right.
let's read
Should I
this
keep
book?
reading?
Yeah.
We should do more literary
analysis
there, which you'd think would be more of in this podcast. Now, I know you're probably thinking, fuck. Another fucking chapter of this fucking stupid book.
I am thinking that.
But might I remind you that back in the very first chapter of this book, I specifically, explicitly, realistically, prolifically, politically, cynically, metaphysically warned you that this was, in fact, a bad book.
I do remember that. A bit of Eminem.
Yeah.
Eminem?
Specifically, explicitly, realistically, prolifically, politically, cynically, metaphysically.
I think that is Eminem. Oh, no. Eminem has this...
No, that was actually just me.
Oh, that was Sam and M.
Yeah, you were like, wow, that sounded good. Was Eminem in the building?
Eminem has this great song from his very first album. It was called Infinite.
Okay.
It's a really good song.
Oh, okay.
It's not well known because it was like before he was big, but it's like a sort of underground album. Really good.
I thought you were going to like give us a few bars.
Well, there's this bit where he goes, My lyrics are intergalactical. They ease you mentally, gently, sentimentally, with entity, dementedly, meant to be infinite. And I love
really
that.
like that.
I really like it.
Yeah. I didn't. Oh, God, I was trying to think of some old Eminem songs I know, but I can't remember.
Yeah, well,
There it goes. All right.
Mockingbird.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but that's not even old enough.
I was at Mum and Dad's the other night. I was like, Mum, let's watch some Eminem music. She's like, what's Eminem? And she thought Eminem was Milli Vanilli. Do you remember Milli Vanilli?
Yeah. What do they do? What are they?
They were I don't know any of their songs,
okay.
but they were like exposed as frauds.
Okay.
That was their thing. And I put on Mockingbird by Eminem in tears.
Oh.
So early,
Oh.
all I ever wanted to do was just make you proud. Now I'm sitting in this empty house. And Mum's like, oh, you just wanted, that's just what it is with being a parent.
So your mum loved Eminem in the end.
Yeah, Mum loves Eminem. I played Mum One More Time by Blink-182. Tears. Within 15 seconds. Oh, it's such a beautiful song. It reminds us that we have to just stick together with our families.
You should play a Superman by Eminem. What is it? What is it?
I know
Monday through Sunday.
Yeah.
Like fuck that bitch. You don't want to.
Yeah. That's the thing. There's a big spectrum of Eminem.
Yeah. He's great.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get to paragraph 3.
No, we're still in paragraph 2.
We're still on paragraph 2. We're not even one sentence.
This is in fact a bad book and a bad podcast, possibly. But here you are, all the way at the end of the book, thinking, well, maybe it's better. You're probably not thinking that. Well, newsflash, it doesn't. I know. You wanted to give the book a chance. You thought the first chapter might have been a big joke, but alas, the joke is on you.
Oh.
Well, you were the stupid idiot who read this book to the very end. And what do you have to show for it? A whole lot of nothing.
I love that the book just insults the reader.
Yeah.
Not often does a book go, kind of reminds me of Andy's books. The monster, like, here's his mod, don't read this book.
Yeah.
Don't open this book, is Andy's book.
Oh my God. In a way, are you making an accusation? I mean, let it be known henceforth that Mike does believe Andy stole his idea
From Harry Potter and the Boys.
from Harry Potter and the Boys.
Have
He
you
said, and that's probably why he says he doesn't listen.
True.
He says he doesn't listen.
Because he knows he does listen.
Yeah.
In fact,
and that's why he said, I don't listen, I'll never listen. I don't like you guys, I don't like your podcast. But he really does.
He loves it.
And he loves
so
us.
inspired by it.
Yeah.
Have you noticed we're recording this actually quite late because the cheap seats was delayed. Have you noticed I didn't actually turn the lights on in my living room because usually we record at like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Right now it's nearly 5 o'clock. It's getting darker.
It's getting dark.
It's-
I think yesterday was Melbourne's shortest day.
Yeah. It's getting quite dark. I'm going to say let's do the whole show without turning the lights off no matter how dark it gets.
Because I think the camera is still fine.
The camera's fine, but in the room I'm feeling how dark it is.
I'm almost feeling sleepy as I go.
Me too.
Maybe I'll fall asleep.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
All right. Anyway, so let's not turn the light on. Okay. Anyway, I guess you're probably thinking to yourself right now, what happened to the boys? And I'll tell you. Because hang on, how did we just end the last chapter? I don't know.
They were in Harry's office and they all danced in the
that's right.
marijuana smog to
Yes.
the green tambourine. And
Yeah. The boys were disheartened when they woke up on the last day of school. None of their problems had really been solved, and Harry Potter had been reinstated as the headmaster of the
That's
school,
right.
which definitely couldn't be a positive thing. They sat on the hill outside the school and ate their final lunch.
oh, their final lunch ever.
why
or
that's
just for
funny.
the year.
Oh, there's our final lunch. It's our final. Sit on the hill. Oh, it's our final. I mean, come on. You don't have to be sentimental about everything. I guess they did exams, but I don't know. Who knows? Michael swore he felt a strange rumbling from inside the hill.
That's
But
weird.
that couldn't be possible.
This
it was
hill-
simply a hill.
The hill keeps coming up. They were sitting on a hill a while ago.
Now, I feel like sometimes you've done well with like subtle foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Like you might mention something in a previous book. The fact you've gone so hard on this hill and there's a rumbling from the hill, but it couldn't be possible. It was simply a hill. I think the hill is not simply a hill. And I think maybe the
Interesting.
next book there'll be a hill-related incident.
Will you die on that hill?
I'll die on that hill, which isn't really a hill.
All right. See you next year.
Okay. But let's
See you next
but for
season.
now, let's continue.
Yeah.
They looked over and saw a group of Slytherins talking, including Squid and John Mooney.
Oh, those jacks.
I don't like them.
They've been there since book one, to their credit.
Yeah,
You
they
know?
haven't dropped out. They've kept at it. Who next year would enter their final year at Hogwarts. Well done, boys. Dragon Mail
That was
Boy.
a Sam special
That was a
comment.
Sam special comment. Dragon Mail Boy was also there. And his relevance to the story was as much a mystery to me, the narrator, as he is to you, the reader. Harold Biscuits also walked towards the boys.
Harold.
It feels like you've gone back and gone, what characters?
Who's around?
Who have I forgotten to mention
Let's-
for a year?
Let's make sure Hogwarts
Yeah.
feels alive and lived in.
Yeah. Now I
I
can't.
think this is Harold.
Oh, it's a Harold Biscuits. Oh, also what's the boys? Oh, right. Okay. I don't even know how Harold. Dimmy, I noticed you negotiated a bunch of Dimmy exclusive chapters into your contract for next year. Look, I'd love to speak to your manager. Like, my manager's got me diddly squat in this book. I was a major role in the first book. Major. Read it again. Major. And books 2 and 3, I've been reduced to a recurring background character. Now I know how Cyclops felt in X-Men 3. I feel like I need
Have you seen
now I know how Cyclops feels in X-Men 3.
Have you seen the original X-Men trilogy?
As in, like, with Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like Cyclops
Yeah,
is very
yeah.
prominent in that first one.
Yeah.
And each time
That's
kind of becomes less and less prominent.
Actually, I've got to give this more credit because I guess this was probably not that long after
The
X-Men
third
3
X-Men came out. And
right.
this is, I guess, yeah.
Oh, sorry. And this is a feedback that we got from in your owl post, I think, because
What?
we're about to talk about something that you've just said.
Oh no, sorry to whoever that
First
is.
movie is front and center of everything. Then, as each movie goes by, suddenly Wolverine's on the front of the posters.
Which I think was a good idea.
Yeah, good move.
Wolverine was a great
Oh, yeah.
character.
Oh, hey, James Marsden. James Marsden was Cyclops, wasn't he?
Was he?
Yeah, he's doing all right. James
Was he?
Marsden. Look it up.
I need to look that up.
Maybe if
See, I don't even know who Cyclops was because he was just relegated so much to.
I'm gonna die on that hill.
James was. Are you sure? Everyone who knows is screaming at their car right now, being like, "Okay, oh yeah, he was. You're right, he was. James Marsden was Scott Summers / Cyclops."
So I believe I was right.
Yeah, you were. Well done.
Okay. So everyone was not screaming at that. Everyone was screaming, "Sam's right. Sam's right."
True. That's a first.
Anyway, yeah. Hey. Then as each movie goes by, suddenly Wolverine's on the front of the posters. And now Wolverine's apparently getting his own movie. Jeez, he's had it.
So this is pre-Wolverine having a spin-off movie.
Which was maybe Origin?
X-Men Origins. X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Because then he had
Then there was
more.
The Wolverine,
Yeah.
which was set in Japan.
That was good.
Yeah. And then there was Logan.
Yeah.
And now he's popping up in Deadpool versus Logan or whatever.
You know what? I'm happy with that. I think the more of that, the merrier.
Imagine going to 13-year-old Mike here and saying, guess what?
It gets even more.
He gets more than one spin-off. Cyclops, nowhere
Yeah, I was
to
going
be
to say,
seen.
then little Mike will be like, and how many did Cyclops get? Oh, little Mike.
James Marsden's doing Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, he's doing all right, though. He's doing all right. And then he was on that jury duty thing.
Yeah, that was really good. Marsden was great in that.
Yeah. You won't understand that kind of conceptual show idea yet, little Mikey, but you will one day.
Wow.
All
This
right.
is such a blast from the past. Also, it's very dark.
I don't know. You made this bed.
Yeah.
We're in bed, by the way. And
We should do an episode from bed next week, just from my bed.
I don't want
And we'll film it. If 2 people join the Patreon, we will do that.
Okay.
This week.
All right. The final episode's from
Make
bed.
it up. And yeah, the final episode.
That would be very weird. Yeah.
Final episode of season 1. Oh, Ryan Shelton's
Yeah,
on.
what if but what if Ryan Sheldon decides, you know what, I will tune in for one episode. And it's one
And
of
it's
us.
like, oh, we're in bed. That
Yeah.
seems like something, not like one of the drive radio shows that's on now would do.
yeah.
Oh, we're doing the
the
show
whole
from
show
bed.
We're not leaving bed for 48 hours.
Why should we go to work? We're doing the show from bed.
We're doing
Tune
the whole-
in, 1060.
Yeah. We've got bed sores.
Oh, don't wank. Oh, I'm not going to be able to wank.
All right. Well, guess what, guys? While you're listening to Dua Lipa, bloody Mike over here is bloody wanking. Wank alarm. Wank.
Wank alert. Oh, whoever wanks first has to.
Yeah.
If you were first one to wank has to wank the other one off.
All right. Who? Yeah.
Oh, Damo's wanked.
All right. Who? Call in now. Where did you last wank?
Oh, and that's radio.
Yeah.
That's
right.
radio,
Here's Ed
guys.
Sheeran. All right.
It's Ed Sheeran.
All right.
Wanky, 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 wank. All right, let's do this.
Meanwhile, Cyclops is lucky to get one single line. I was a were-basilisk. Remember?
It does feel like a lot of book 1 has sort of just been like,
Yeah. Were-basilisk. It's getting more like signed. I was a were-basilisk. Remember? Were-basilisk. That was a great concept. That was just such a... Harold was continuing to go on and on and on and on. And the whole thing about my dad writing the Nutty Professor.
I
Basil,
love that was great.
And he goes, that was hilarious. And I'm shafted. Oh, maybe that's a pun on Shafted Light. For what? A wisecracking Cartman ripoff? A dumbass story about 2 identical twins being reunited? It's bullshit, I tell ya.
Oh, poor Harold.
Oh, Harold and his dad writing the Nutty Professor.
That was early days of you being
yeah.
full time on the pod.
Yeah, and then Harold's dad signed that nurse's boobs.
And remember you used to do Sammy's spells, and then
yeah.
This is a throwback. Tom, who was the guy who worked at the cafe at my old place, he started listening to the pod, but he was really behind. And he's like, I've been listening. I can't wait to hear the next Sammy spells.
And we were both like...
I was like, I don't remember that.
I think we did that 4 times. And it was only one day.
Yeah, that was like 30 chapters ago and like 4 years ago in real time.
Oh, we're still doing them, mate. We're still doing them. Yeah, that's for sure.
I wonder if Tom still listens. Shout out, Tom.
It's hard to think of. Okay, let's Sammy spell. Think of a spell now. Pretty hard.
Wankus preventus.
Oh, all right.
And locks someone's dick so they can't wank.
Maybe it ties it in a little pretzel.
Yeah.
So nothing,
Could that do long-term damage?
Yeah.
That's why it's an unforgivable curse.
Yeah, it's one into the fourth. Unforgivable.
Dickus pretzelis.
Yeah. Because when they got to the final three, they're like, look, we can only have 3 unforgivable. They're like, but this wanking one's pretty bad.
Yeah, but is it unforgivable?
It's not going to be on the poster. It's going to be like this. It is the Cyclops. The penis is kind of a Cyclops. Of the
Cyclops of the unforgivable curses.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay, we need to read the book.
Okay. This is actually good. I think the light failing, the sun going down is a more effective thing than like the battery running out of the camera because we just keep going.
We'll have both soon. So if we keep going.
Anyway, Michael began. We have to go over here now. The boys all moved 3 steps to the right, which meant they were just over the crest of the hill and could no longer actually see Harold, and thus assumed he went away.
Oh,
that is a big hill. They must have already been kind of over the crest.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
All right.
Okay. They could no longer.
That's all right.
They could no longer actually see Harold.
I only need dialogue as a lead,
and thus assumed he went away.
Hey, Harold. If you weren't, I can definitely put you in touch with Gavin. I think he could really be helpful for you to speak to.
Dimmy said before they moved.
Okay.
Before they moved.
So we kind of got that in reverse order.
Yeah, we did. Then whatever. That's where editing would come in if you were any young writers out there. So Lockie began. That's a bit of a special comment from Sammy. What do you think will happen in the next book? What do you mean? Asked Luke. Well, said Lockie, the first book slightly followed the plot of Philosopher's Stone, and this book was quite similar to Prisoner of Azkaban. Well, I guess that means book 4 is going to follow the plot of Goblet of Fire, Tom added. But book 2 was kind of a hybrid between Goblet of Fire and Chamber of Secrets, said Rob.
And we said that at the time.
Yeah, Lockie said, which is exactly my point. Surely they can't just do another Team Wizard tournament in book 4, right?
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. I don't know. You know what? I really don't know, said Michael.
That's very
a little bit
you know?
You never know.
I forgot to actually tell you.
Well, you know.
I think I still have the audio loaded up, right? With Ryan saying that.
Yeah, I love it.
Because I realized that when Ryan actually says that, he's... I don't have it loaded up, but I'll put it in. I actually will put it in.
You never know.
When I ask him, do you think you'll keep listening or keep reading? He actually clearly goes to say, I doubt it. So he goes, you never know. And I will put that in here so you can hear it properly.
You never know.
Great.
And we're back.
The point in the pause. We didn't have to say it and we're back. Okay. What I do know is there will be another book. We're going to have to be ready. Ready for what? Asked Derek. For another day. Oh, for another day. Another day, Michael began. Another boobs. Everybody said, while holding their ice cream up to the sun.
It didn't.
What ice cream?
It never said they were having. It said they were having lunch.
Their final lunch, which. Well,
maybe there was a special ice cream day.
Everyone's final lunch was ice cream. We didn't mention that.
But sometimes on the last day of school, the teacher's like, ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how good's that?
Yeah.
I remember my trumpet teacher was like, no, I'll go buy you an ice cream.
Oh, that sounds weird.
No, it wasn't just me. It was me and the other guys.
How many people were doing trumpet?
This wasn't like year 8. There's 3 of us.
Okay.
But it was just like...
And what, you just pop across the road to the shop?
No, because you could buy them at the
tuck
shop, but I think it was during class hours, so like we weren't allowed in the tuck shop.
But this is weird.
He's like, I think he wanted one. He's like, so he had one as well.
Yeah, okay.
It was right at the end. We're like, great.
Okay, well.
It's not weird.
Okay.
He's a great man.
Okay. Do they say tuck shop? They don't say tuck shop outside of Australia, do they?
No, probably not. Tuck shop, cafeteria.
Yeah,
but
cafeteria.
it's not really a cafeteria.
It's not a cafeteria.
Yeah.
Canteen.
So another boobs, everybody said, while holding their ice cream up to the sun, watching it drip little drops as the Hogwarts year came to its end. Who knew what was in store for the boys in the next book, or if there would even be a next book at all? In brackets, there would be. As the boys took one last poo in the school toilets, everything's one last.
Last poo.
Yeah. Which Moaning Myrtle came in and kept watching them poo, which she said was her new thing she's into doing, and will do it in the next book a lot.
Oh.
They also saw Neville, who had been relegated to the keeper of poos at the school. Oh, I forgot that.
Yeah, we did learn that. Oh, we should have picked that up.
Yeah, we really should pick that up. So what does the new gig entail? Sam asked Neville. It's a really important job, boys. Look, I'm going to level with you. Call me Level Neville. It's really important. Look, I'm going to level with you. Call me Level Neville. All right. Love it. Being headmaster, not all it's cracked up to be. You've got to work, you know? You've got to actually do stuff to get the school into good nick. Being keeper of poos is such a great job. I get to work my own hours, and all I have to do is clean up poo. Okay, I'll admit it. It's stinky. But I'd rather be stinking it up and down here in the toilets than being stressed out all the time like I was when I was headmaster. Neville said candidly. That's weird, Neville. Sorry, Level Neville. Because it kind of looked like you did pretty much exactly absolutely nothing while you were headmaster. Like Harry, Michael said. Oh, of course you'd think that. You kids don't really understand the real work that goes into the running a school. Anyway, I need to go. I see you boys have done poos, Neville said. I see you boys have done poos, with an exclamation point. So he's got to keep the he's got
to get the poos out.
It feels like the poos, they have something to do with the hill. Maybe they're all stuck in the hill.
In the hill trying to burst out.
Burst out and
possibly
attack everyone.
I love that
magical
fan
poos.
theory.
Oh, so is that the reason we don't have flushing toilets at Hogwarts? Rob said. Yep. Don't let them know about flushing toilets. The lack of flushing is what keeps me in the job. Neville said.
Who was doing the flushing, the keeper of poos before Neville?
I don't know. Yeah.
Might have been one of Hagrid's jobs, but they've delegated it out.
Oh my God. Neville said, as he began manually scooping the poo out of each toilet.
Wow.
That is kind of funny. It's like, Arthur Weasley gave us an insight into how wizards and witches view Muggle things. Because he was really interested in
the rubber duck.
What's the functional purpose of a rubber
duck? Yeah. The tickets at the train station. He didn't understand that. Yeah.
So in a way, maybe they've built these toilets being like, oh, well, they just use these toilets. And
we don't know. Yeah.
They just look like this. You chuck them in.
You poo in them.
You put a bit of water in there.
Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah. And then you get someone to grab it out, I assume. So who's teaching herbology next year? Luke asked. There's a lot going on. I mean, there's not much going on.
But there's a lot going on. Yeah.
That'd be me. I'm taking on pro bono. Harry said if I did a good job, I could be headmaster again someday, Neville said. I doubt that.
But also, didn't he say he didn't want to be headmaster?
Oh, yeah, he did. Sorry,
He hated being headmaster.
Yeah. Okay, well, first of all, that's a lie. But also, didn't you just say you didn't want to be headmaster, Michael said?
Oh, God, yeah.
And shout out to that person who wrote in saying they hate that part of the podcast.
I love...
And it's true.
I also love... Well, first of all, that's a lie. But even if it was true... Just straight up telling someone that something they said was a lie. Well, that's a lie.
Yeah, I like the confidence there. You know what, boys? This conversation is really starting to stray out of my expertise as poo keeper. If you want to discuss headmaster-related affairs, chat to Harry. Cheers. Neville then stood inside the toilet, pressed a flush, and disappeared into the toilet.
I have to go now. My home planet needs me. Do you remember that from The Simpsons?
Oh, yeah, but then he's just there. Wait, does he actually let...
I shouldn't have said anything.
Is the X-Files one?
No, it doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter. The people who get it will get it. The people who don't won't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he went to Narnia, Michael said. Nah, only wardrobes do that. Believe me, said Aslan.
Oh, so has Aslan been there the whole time with them? Or?
Must have been.
Yeah.
I guess
he didn't mention him.
He's just out in the hill, yeah.
Yeah,
maybe he's one handing the ice creams out. Anybody want an ice cream?
It's so dark.
Ice creams for all.
It's really
Last
dark.
day of
Last day of school ice creams. Hey, if you like this, we can make you all kinds of ice cream over in Narnia.
You know, in Narnia, I'm the paddle pop lion. Pretty sweet gig.
I do love Aslan handing Hogwarts kids ice creams as a way of trying to get them over to Narnia.
On to Narnia. Yeah.
He pulls kids and says, "Wait, what do I got to do to get you over to Narnia? Come on.
I mean,
We've got dental."
We like ice creams. Yeah, dental.
Oh, there's a lot of ice creams in Narnia.
Narnia's not so bad, is it? A lot of people are saying that now.
Hey, did you kids just say you love Narnia and it's really good?
Wow.
No, none of us said that. Oh, I swear I heard someone say it.
Yeah. You know, we're putting 20 pages of Narnia at the end of this book.
As a preview.
Yeah.
Hey, do you... Oh, sorry. No,
No,
don't. I was just going to say, like, hey, do you kids like water slides? We're building a water slide park in Narnia. You should come over.
We got like magic, like we can just like make a cushioning challenge and just jump off stuff here. But
Oh.
well.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing it anymore. Okay. Let's keep
As
reading.
the boys wandered slowly down to get on the Hogwarts Express, Harry was there, farewelling everybody. Sans Socky.
Ah,
As in without
Socky.
Socky. You mean, yeah, fun way of saying that.
Yeah.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, Jimbo. Goodbye, Sarah. Oh, goodbye, Ludwig. Goodbye, Carabo. Goodbye, Sheila. Goodbye, Miyako.
Wait, why are you laughing?
I'm laughing at all the names, all the random names. That seems like we've got a female Japanese student, which we've never mentioned.
Miyako. Goodbye, Miyako.
Yeah. Goodbye, Miyako. Hey, well, thanks for coming on exchange.
Hey, did you have a good time?
Yeah.
Hey, I heard Narnia's doing exchange as
Hey.
well, so make sure you get a brochure from
yeah.
Aslan. And an ice cream.
Yeah. Oh, shall I just keep it? Yeah. Goodbye, Davis. Goodbye, crappity dappity doodah. Hey, goodbye, fuckity duckity duck. No, fuckity duckity dock.
Fuckity duckity.
Goodbye, urinal poopy papa.
What?
Urinal poopy papa.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Wow. Each student that went past got a personalised goodbye. Except this answers my question. Except the boys weren't 100% sure whether Harry was making up some of the names because he didn't know any of the students at all. So he's just saying it's like Crab, Goyle, man. Hey, goodbye, Ludwig.
Goodbye, dibbity flippity boppa.
Yeah, goodbye, crappity dappity doodah. My name's James. Yeah.
Yeah, but everyone wasn't. I swear someone was calling you crappity dappity doo.
You're on poopy papa.
His name's Timothy.
well,
it's a thing I've got.
It was as good a guess as any.
Okay.
Boys, slow down. Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Boys, slow down. Harry said as the boys deliberately tried to speed up near Harry to avoid speaking to him. Boys, slow down. Boys, I know this year was tough for you, so I wanted you to have this. Harry held out his hand. Michael shook it. Sorry, was there supposed to be something in it? I added the sorry in. He just said, Was there supposed to be something in it? Michael asked. Oh, no, it's just a handshake. I wanted to give you a handshake, Harry said. It does seem like a drug deal or something. You put some money in your hand and just do a
No,
handshake.
but it felt like he was going to be like, "Hey, I know this year was hard. I want you to have this." And it's like when Hagrid gives him the photo of him as a baby with his parents. Like,
Yes.
wow, Hagrid, that means so much. You don't even understand. It's like, oh no, I just wanted to shake your hand.
There you go.
See you later, boys.
There you go.
Good on you.
And I do feel like at our school there was a lot of if the bloody teachers were like put their hand out, you're like, shake your hand.
And I always
In
had
the
sweaty
eye.
hands.
How embarrassing.
I got in trouble for like not looking in the eye while shaking
Yeah.
hands when I was like 10.
yeah.
It's like, I'm fucking 10.
You know what?
You're handing me a certificate. I'm going to look at the certificate, not you.
That's true. And you know, it's a lot to coordinate. Your hand, shake your hand. You got to
when
grab
you're
the certificate.
10, yeah.
You're crossing hands over. You're
Yeah.
trying to grab a certificate. You gotta,
True, actually. You don't think of that. You've got to grab the certificate with one hand and you've got to shake hands with the other hand
But you know
and
what?
look in the eye.
you know what? It is, if you've ever, in your adulthood, shaken hands with someone and they don't look at you, it's really weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird to not look at someone.
So I'm actually
it's a good
glad they
lesson.
taught us
Yeah.
that. Also, I can barely see you.
It's
very
So why
dark.
can I see us on the camera then?
Because the camera auto adjusts like the lighting, but it is getting very dark.
Well, we're
I can't
nearly-
see you. My eyes are hurting.
We're nearly done.
Yeah, we're nearly done.
Stop complaining.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay.
Oh, Michael said, walking on, as each boy walked past Harry and shook his hand. Oh, and boys, Harry said, as they had all shaken his hand, don't forget to be young this summer. Okay. He blew a kiss and ran like a schoolgirl back up to Hogwarts. Hagrid waved at the boys as the train tooted its horn and began to be in motion. He then fell over onto the tracks and the train couldn't move, so they had to call the fire brigade to help move him, and there were delays of up to 12 hours.
Oh, no.
Oh,
12 hours?
Yeah, wow.
I guess, yeah.
You're like, no, don't touch me. I can
get up.
Hagrid let them help. As the train finally started moving, Derek began to speak. Oh, sorry, but he hadn't in the whole 12 hours beforehand. He's like, I'll just wait till we're moving.
What were they doing for you'd probably in a 12-hour wait be like, let's just get a cab.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
do you guys want to split a cab?
That was a fine car. Yeah. Well, geez, sweet. What's the trolley?
Oh yeah, the trolley lady.
Yeah, I mean that trolley be empty after 12
Yeah,
hours.
after 12 hours, yeah.
Take the lot. Derek began to speak. Something just doesn't feel right, he said, and the boys all pondered. The PA system in the train began sounding. Attention all teachers and students on the train. Oh no. Attention all teachers and students on the train. The voice of Harry Potter could be heard saying, I have hacked into the train's PA system to say, Derek is a disgrace to all wizards.
Hey, that's a good way to end.
Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, Trent. Goodbye, Campbell. Goodbye, Lucinda. Goodbye, Lily. Goodbye, Gabby. Goodbye, Trent, you cheeky bastard. You owe me a blowy. Goodbye, Trent. Goodbye, Trent. Have a great summer, Claude. Goodbye, Morris Gleitzman. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, Trent. And the goodbyes continued for the 3-hour trip back to London, where Michael, Rob, Luke, Lockie, Gemini, Sam, Tom, Derek, and Dimmy emerge in London, ready for whatever the summer had in store for them.
Wow. Trent got a good farewell, didn't he?
Goodbye. Yeah, I feel like you didn't pick up on the first time it repeated. Goodbye, Trent. Goodbye, Trent. You cheeky bastard. You owe me a blowy. And then goodbye, Morris Gleitzman.
Morris Gleitzman, famous children's author from Australia who wrote Toad Rage.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Toad Rage?
Not really. What do I know him from?
Morris Gleitzman.
Yeah, I know him.
He wrote about. You look it up. I've got to quickly go to the toilet.
Oh,
So you just talk to the listeners.
well, but what if they don't like me? All right, guys, I'm just Googling. Hey, guys, now that Mike's out of the studio, it's time I tell you about an important sponsor we have here on the podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Morris Gleitzman. He's a British Australian author. He is 71 years old. He was born 9th of January, 1953. Some of his famous books include Once, Then, A Boy Overboard. I feel like I remember that one. It's okay. Some of these, he may be good at writing the books. He's not great at writing the titles because one of them's called Once, Then, After, Soon, Now. One of them's called Once and Then. He's got to get someone to
I've had to
write these bloody titles.
I've really had to wee the whole time we've been recording. Like, seriously, think of when this started recording. I've had to wee the whole time.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I probably could have just waited to the end, but
Because I feel like it's based on Misery Guts.
oh, and wasn't there one called bubble gum or something?
There's one called Bumface.
Ah,
Blabbermouth.
Blabbermouth. That's it.
Worry
Belly flop?
warts.
Ah,
Yeah.
is there
these,
belly flop?
Maybe.
Ah, Morris.
Puppy fat. I feel like these are the ones I might have read.
I wonder what Morris is up to these days. Maybe his kids listen.
Yeah. Hey, if you're a Gleitzman.
Morris Gleitzman came to my school
And he
once.
did do stuff with Paul Jennings. I thought
Yes,
Wicked or something. Oh, no.
Uncanny or something. Or there you go. There's Toad Rage or Toad. Anyway, guys, at the end of the day, Next week is the last chapter, and therefore the season finale, not the year finale, the season finale of Harry Potter and the Boys Season 3. It is now almost impossible to see anything.
Just while I was looking up Morris Gleitzman, the sun went down completely. So
when I was coming back from the bathroom, it just looked like a sad man sitting in the dark talking into a microphone. I actually thought about leaving.
That was what it was. But two things can be true.
Well, I'll see you next week.
See you next week for the final time.
I think
this chapter.
Is that Claire?
I don't know.
Oh no, it's not. She's coming very soon.
All right, love you guys.
Guys, rock on.
And don't do anything we wouldn't do. Stay young.
Except for that.
Okay. Goodbye, Hamora.
Boop, 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 boop. Is that how the ending goes? Like,
Debbie just hit the wall.
Wait, do you actually listen to the pod like once we've done it? Because at the end, it goes like.
Nah, I do. Yeah, it's good.
Boom, 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 boom. Maybe I'll just do a manual outro. Boom, 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 boom. Or will I put it? I'll put in the real one.
Either or.